problem going on?
No, I don't think they're being heard at all.
You think it's a bit insane that people have to come out and block up the streets to get the attention of the government?
It really is. This isn't something that we should have to do. This is something that our government not should, just instinctively know. But I mean, I'm quite sure that the MPs and the MPPs have all received letters from their constituents, and yet the government doesn't seem to care.
To put in perspective, if you went to any other country in the world, even US, they'd expect you to know English. They'd expect you to at least be cooperative with the culture they've created. Whereas it seems here we have a salad, right? They always say a salad of different cultures. But when you have this culture that doesn't get along with this culture, then you create clashes. On top of the fact that we as Canadians do have a culture that is not theirs that they're bringing over. So yeah, I think assimilation isn't pushed hard enough by the immigrants coming here and by the people bringing them here either. So I think the issue is, like many of the signs there say, is that there's no job shortage. It's the fact that Canadians are not getting the jobs. People from different countries are coming in, getting our jobs, and creating a bigger competition for naturally born citizens to get a job.
If you can speculate, what is the solution for this that has already happened? There's a lot of people that have been brought to the country. The numbers are increasing. Is the solution just a cap on the amount of people that are coming in?
I think a cap would be the very least you could do. I think it should have been done a long time ago. Should have been a bipartisan issue, but it wasn't. I think at this point, you really got to vet people hard. So a cap would be a start on top of actually bringing in people who can offer something and not just compete with you and me for entry-level jobs.
Canada has more than enough land for everybody to live on, right? It's what the government's doing is that they're cramming all the immigrants into the cities. Right? I don't want to get caught up in immigration is a problem, because a lot of people are focusing on the cities, and the perception is that, the cities have too much immigration, that means that immigration is a problem. But if you go outside of cities, if you go outside of Brampton, Toronto, or Scarborough, there's lots of land. It's not overcrowded. It's only overcrowded in the cities, and the government is giving incentive to businesses to bring immigrants here. So someone in the government is telling immigrants from people from India, come to Canada, you're going to make some money, you'll make a better life here and stuff. They come here, and then there's nothing other than cheap jobs like Tim Hortons and stuff, so they have to hire Tim Hortons, and then the government's giving incentive to the corporations of Tim Hortons to hire them to pay half their wages, right? So it's not like the government, it's not like Tim Hortons and all these corporations are racist. They're just like, well, if I hire someone from India or something, I'm gonna get money from the government that will help my business. Make
cheaper labor.
Huh?
It's cheaper labor.
Cheaper labor, right? But it's cheaper labor, but the government's giving incentives. But they're not saying that. Why is the Tim Hortons in Toronto and these areas filled up with a lot of Indians? Because they're getting incentives. Yeah. But you travel outside of Toronto, go to one of the Tim Hortons on the side of the roads, on the side of the roads on the highway and stuff, or you go to other areas and stuff. There's not a lot of Indian people. It's like white people and stuff working there.
I thought it was quite interesting what the people of these protests had to say about immigration, but I knew they weren't exactly representative of Toronto's population as a whole, because at this moment in time, a lot of the city's population are international students, foreign workers, and immigrants themselves.
What's your name?
My name's Diljit.
Diljit?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. I'm Gavin.
Same here.
I'm filming a YouTube video today on immigration into Canada. We've just seen a protest come down this road a couple hours ago. There's people protesting against rising numbers of immigration. Some people think that it's too much.
Yeah.
Where do you stand on that subject?
Yeah, I think the same. There's too many immigrants coming over here. I myself was an immigrant, but times have changed right now, because I came in 2021, and in that time period, there were not so much of immigrants in here.
Yeah.
And earlier that, when I talked to my boss or my elders, they also said that there been too many immigrants coming over so much these years, and till 2025, it's gonna be triple or quadruple times.
Every people have different opinions. If the immigrants are come, they also give them invest their money. I came to study here. I invest near about $18,000 to $20,000. Also, I eat food and giving rents. That's also came to from my home country money.
My opinion is that we need to accept people that will help build the city of Toronto. It was in kind of a dead zone since 2015, but recently a lot of stuff has been happening. I think that if Canada is importing a lot of skilled workers in terms of STEM fields, I'm not too sure about our industries, but a lot of the stuff here is fueled by technology. So if we can advance our tech industry make it a little more like New York or SF, I think then it's a good idea to, import some of these people and give them a life in Toronto. As for other kinds of degrees or any skills that might have, I think you need to be skilled to come here. That should be like the baseline.
In the last economy data I have read somewhere, it's near about $32 billion that immigrants give within 1 year. That's a huge amount of money any country receiving for the immigrants. That money went to the Canadians who are citizens. They are seeking for CPB, OS. Where they come from? They come from the immigrants.
I think that if a host country has like a kind of weak culture, then stronger cultures might come try and dominate it. For example, let's say you had an immigrant that didn't know anything about Canadian culture. If you were to throw hockey events, stuff like, Canadian stuff, then I feel like it could attract more of their attention, assimilate their culture into it, and that's where you get assimilation. I think if you don't have that, then it can be kind of like, instead of assimilating, the cultures are kind of competing. You don't want cultures to compete with each other, you want them to complement one another. So I think if we can build more infrastructure to facilitate that, it can be something that can fix that problem.
I earn here, I spend here. Which country boost? This country boost? That's why I think they are totally different views that immigrant is spoiling. We don't beg. I am earning, nowadays I don't have any job, but I am earning via Uber. But I'm not begging like people give me some money. But all the immigrants are hardworking, not beggars. So I think they have to change their views.
Yeah, man, I think it's very important because a society by itself, you don't really know anyone other than like friends and stuff like that. You can't just see some random people and just start talking to them, unless you're a YouTuber. There could be people sitting on the bench behind us that I could know because we have a community together. But if I don't know them, I'm probably not going to talk to them. Building a community helps people make friends, and through that they produce value to society. That's the value of communities. Ultimately, humans are nothing without a community because on our own we're kind of useless, but together we can do a lot.
Take this video for what you will, protest for what you believe in, and subscribe to Gavin Barry.